Every year, I wait. I wait through scorching summer days when the earth cracks beneath my feet and the forest falls silent. But I know the rains are coming, and when the first clouds gather over the horizon, my life changes forever. Because somewhere, hidden among these trees, she is listening. And today, everything depends on whether she chooses me. My name is Indian Peafowl, India's national bird. But titles mean nothing here. In nature, beauty alone isn't enough. Today, I must prove I deserve a future. The monsoon is more than rain. It is season of life. Food becomes plentiful. The forest awakens. Insects emerge. Seeds begin to sprout. Every living creature senses the change. And for me, it marks the beginning of the breeding season. This is the only time of the year when I have a chance to leave behind a new generation. Before anyone can admire my feathers, they must first know where I am. So I call loudly, again and again. My voice echoes through the forest. Some hear a beautiful sound, others hear an alarm. But every call carries a message to the rival males. This is my stage. To females, come and see what I have to offer. Then I see her, calm, silent, careful. She isn't looking for food. She is looking for the best father for her future chicks. She doesn't care how loudly I call. She doesn't care how long I have waited. She will judge only one thing: am I worthy? This is the moment I have been preparing for all year. With one smooth motion, I lift more than 200 magnificent feathers. Most people believe this is my tail, but they are mistaken. My true tail remains hidden beneath. What you are seeing are elongated upper tail coverts. Feathers evolved for one extraordinary purpose: attraction. Every shimmering eye, every perfect curve, every tiny detail has been shaped by millions of years of evolution. This isn't decoration. This is my resume. But beauty alone cannot convince her. Now I must dance. Every step, every vibration, every turn tells a story. A story she has been reading for thousands of generations. And she hasn't made up her mind yet. She hasn't walked away. That's a good sign. But she hasn't accepted me either. Every second she watches is another chance to impress her or disappoint her. To you, these feathers may simply look beautiful, but to her, they reveal a lifetime of survival. Every feather tells a story of escaping predators, surviving harsh summers, finding enough food, and remaining healthy despite diseases and parasites. If I couldn't survive, I would never have grown a display like this. Watch closely. I am not simply shaking my feathers, I am creating an illusion. As I vibrate them rapidly, the thousands of tiny structures inside each feather scatter light in remarkable ways. Blue becomes brighter, green seems to glow, bronze flashes like polished metal. This isn't pigment. These colors are created by microscopic structures that bend and reflect light itself. Every slight movement changes what she sees. Nature has turned my feathers into living jewels. But she isn't judging me with her eyes alone. As I vibrate my train, something extraordinary happens. Tiny ripples travel through the feathers. They create faint sounds and subtle air vibrations. Humans barely notice them, but she can. Every tremor, every pulse, every vibration is another signal of my strength. The dance is more than beauty, it is communication. Now comes the hardest part. She begins her inspection. Slowly, carefully. She circles around me. I turn with her, never letting my display drift away. She studies everything. Are my feathers symmetrical? Are my eye spots complete? Have I lost too many feathers? Am I alert? Am I confident? Every tiny details matter. She is searching for signs that I carry strong genes, the kind that will help her chicks survive. Sometimes she simply walks away. It happens more often than you had imagined. A display that took months to grow, ignored in matter of seconds. But giving up isn't an option. I continue dancing. I continue calling. Because somewhere another female may be watching, and every performance could be the one that changes my future. But today, something is different. She doesn't leave. Instead, she comes closer, much closer. Every instant inside me tells me this could be the moment. I hold my display as perfectly as I can. I cannot afford a mistake because after weeks of waiting and countless dances, my entire future now depends on her next step. She has seen enough. Every call, every feather, every step, every vibration has led to this single moment. She pauses, looks at me one last time, and then she stays. In the wild, acceptance is rarely dramatic. There are no celebrations, no grand announcements, just one quiet decision that will shape the next generation. Months of preparation, weeks of searching, hours of displaying, all come down to just few seconds. This is mating, brief and silent. Yet one of the most important moments in my life. During this short encounter, I pass my genes. My role in raising the next generation ends almost here. Hers, it is only just beginning. Tomorrow, another male will dance. Another female will choose. Another generation will begin. This ancient ritual has continued for millions of years, not because it is easy, but because life always finds a way to continue. Every feather I grew, every call I made, every dance I performed was never just for myself, it was for the future. So the next time you see a peacock dancing in the rain, remember you are not simply watching a beautiful bird, you are witnessing one of the evolution's greatest performances, a timeless story of hope.